In a world where hopium and common sense collide, starring the Cryptokeeper and Blockchaincrusader. Welcome to Debate Crypto.
Question everything, trust nothing. It's your boys, Cryptokeeper and Blockchaincrusader. We got a couple of OGs in the crypto space tonight. We got Cryptoblood and Cryptoface. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Cryptoface got COVID, man.
We doing good, man. We doing good, man. Come on, man. I'm telling you, man, it's been bothering me lately. It's been bothering me. Everyone thinking I'm a mask wearing liberal when I've been wearing my mask.
Come on, man. Take that mask off.
So tired of it, dude. I'm so tired. I don't know what to do, man. My whole brand is screwed for first.
That's right. They took your shtick and said, tossed it off to the side. Nah, dude, we're excited to have you guys on tonight. We're gonna have a little death match tonight. So for all of you that are here to see some drama, we're here for it. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna talk some Bitcoin tonight. Make sure that you guys subscribe. We put Blood and Cryptoface's information down below the channel down below in the information if you haven't already done that.
Yeah.
I know you never heard that one before.
Never. I'm shocked.
Man, you sound like him too, man. You spit like him too, man.
Spit some bars.
I seen you.
Well, maybe if we get time at the end, we'll ask you to spit some bars for us, Blood.
Oh man, no,
Don't put him on.
Don't put me on.
Yeah, man.
I don't freestyle now. You give me a couple minutes, I can write some bars.
Right, write something.
You gotta be you get comfortable. If you're there, you're there. If you ain't, you ain't. You know what I'm saying? What are you, his daddy? Are you his daddy? You know what I'm saying?
If you guys aren't in the Discord, make sure to check out our Discord. We've got Danger Close Alpha. We've got our NFT that we're working on right now. We're super excited about that. We're bringing the community in the crypto space together with the survivalist community, the prepper community, which is pretty freaking cool. So check us out. The information is down below. But without further ado,
man.
Let's
jump into this.
Let's dive right into it. Miguel, kick it off.
So Bitcoin, is it a safe haven asset? Yes, no. Let's get it.
Let's let Blood kick it off since this one came out of Blood's mouth first. What you got, Blood?
I'm trying to get my stream. Okay, I think I'm live streaming on my channel. Is Bitcoin a safe haven? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And
why not?
History shows it's not. Is it a hedge against inflation? Sure, it has been. You look at what the price has gone from. 89, 90 bucks when I got into it up to where we are now, 40,000, 30, whatever thousand, man. Of course, it's the best performing asset. But to say that it's a safe haven, no, it's going to get slaughtered and has actually gone lower from its peak to where we are right now in the markets. It's lost more value than the stock markets has. Of course, it has gone up more than the stock market as well. So it's a double-edged sword, right? But just it's highly correlated with your risk on asset classes, bonds, equities. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to bust that bubble.
So hold on. So I think that it depends on what you're considering to be a safe haven asset and how you define that. Because if you look, so when you got into Bitcoin, Blood, you said it was 90 bucks. So
yeah.
for you, that absolutely would be a safe haven asset. We're not going to see 90 bucks ever again. You are on the upside of everything. Every single little bit of Bitcoin that you've had, it's a safe haven for you. It might not be a safe haven for somebody jumping in right now.
The majority of the people, though, Keeper, they didn't get in 2013. A lot of the people I know got in 17 or later.
Yep.
So, and that's the majority of the people that you see online, So those individuals, I'm talking to those individuals because that's the biggest group of individuals. There are more new people than old people, OGs in the game.
For sure. That's a fact.
What I'm saying? So
yeah, but that's a short-term look at it, right? It's right now it's not a safe haven asset if you bought it at 50,000. We're down in the 39, 40K area. But 4 or 5 years down the line, when maybe by the end of the decade, when Bitcoin is maybe at $1 million, 50K doesn't look so bad as an entry. They're like, yeah, it's a pretty good safe haven asset for me. So that's why I think that yes, it has its rough drops, but like you were mentioning, right? We were at $3,000 2 years ago when this whole fog around the world started, and now we're talking about a 39 to 40K Bitcoin. Oh man, this sucks. 39 Bitcoin. Oh, what a piece of garbage.
We're only 13x up in 2 years.
Yeah, what a piece of garbage, man.
But guys, you got the definition of safe haven means when everything else shit hits the fan and everything is going down. Can I run the Bitcoin and have some stability in my assets? No.
Yes.
No.
What do you mean?
It shows it.
If you bought Bitcoin when shit was going down, fog around the world, March, you would have made out like a bandit way quicker than any other asset. So
March of when?
2020.
March of 2020, when everything started. We dropped down to like 3,000K, 4,000K for Bitcoin. Stock market tanked. Everything tanked. What would have performed better than Bitcoin in 2 months later? By May, Bitcoin was already back up to 9,000 and continued to steadily move on to where it's at now. What performed better in a moment of crisis than Bitcoin? Yeah, in that very specific day or month, things didn't look good. That happens with anything. But in the few months after, it was solid.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Face.
so it depends on the type of safe haven, being safe from what haven. And so the answer is yes and no. For example, in the case of an electromagnetic pulse, EMP matrix, something where our electricity goes out, and then you're screwed. Yeah. And the answer is no.
That's what we got a Faraday box for, man. We got a Faraday box for that.
That's what all the old precious metal cats used to say back in like 14 and 15 when we were getting rich off Bitcoin. They were like, but if the power goes out, then you can't use a Bitcoin. I'm like, bro, you can't. If the power goes out, the crypto, gold, stocks is the least of your problems.
Yeah.
Guns and food.
That's your safe haven.
That's your safe haven.
Ammo would be safe haven asset right there.
Guns.
He's got more.
And I'll throw some gold in there. Gold, gold's good no matter what. If you're in the hillbilly Rockies, there's always going to be a hillbilly wanting some gold. Because I would want some. I know I'd be a hillbilly wanting some. But no, absolutely. Originally it was designed to be a peer-to-peer currency and yada yada, and the whole damn, what's the word I'm looking for, man? I've been working all day. The thing where it's like gold, the risk of inflation, where you're buying it for the long term. I'm being an idiot right now. Anyways, I'm saying that wasn't the original goal. But at the end of the day, you can still stand across the world without the middleman. So it has its safe haven purposes. If my dollars, go down, yeah, there's crypto. It's safe haven in some aspects. In other aspects, no, just like everything else. But as far as the price action, man, it is right where it's supposed to be. Very healthy right now. And I've said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. 2 years ago, I called this price action basically to the dollar. When Bitcoin was $6,000 to $8,000 numerous times 2 years ago, I said in 2 years, April, May 2022. 45K. I didn't expect it to go up to 64K and come back down. I thought it was just going to kind of just go up to 40K, but boom. So as far as I'm considered, we're right where we're supposed to be. And I'm going to steal Kevin O'Leary's thunder when he said that we're kind of without the real institutional money. And right now we don't have real institutional money. We've taken it as far as it can go and as far as it will go until a couple of them plumbing tubes open up, and then then we can get on our ponies.
I agree with you.
Sunset if we're all.
I agree with you.
I agree. I mean, I think for the sake of the debate of safe haven asset or not, we should define what safe haven definition are we going by, right? Is it like what the gold bugs go for, the fact that it's just a steady price, never moves up or down, or does safe haven asset now have a new definition based on the fact that Bitcoin is a bleeding edge technology in compared to different finance? So maybe the term of safe haven asset, I mean, we do
have to redefine a lot of definitions nowadays, because the
are you
Federal
a bear
Reserve,
blood? Are you like a I'm not trying to put definitions on nobody, but like, are you like a shitcoin guy? Or you don't care?
No, I don't care. No, I'm more of a macro crypto guy. So I'm looking at it from a macro standpoint. And in the short run, we're heading lower with the stock market. You know, it is what it is. Now, long term, Bitcoin, Lord willing, there aren't no, technical glitches in the network that occurs. It's going to continue to be the most outperforming asset class. It's going to be the best asset class. I want to respond
to someone in the chat that just said unconfiscatable. I'm not trying to call out Dr. Little John specifically.
That's my boy. He's a correspondent. Yeah, he's a correspondent on the channel.
If the government wants it and someone puts a gun to your head, unless Bitcoin can't be withdrawn with your natural consent. So if Bitcoin had we had a brain implant where if you got kidnapped and dude's like, yo, take your Bitcoin, and you're like, oh shit, but your brain implant knew not to give it up, then it would be unconfiscatable. But if someone can put a gun to your head and make you take it, it's confiscatable, like anything else. Just like
I think that's
baby cakes. You got them little cupcakes. It's just confiscatable as them cupcakes, bro.
That's possible with Elon Musk and his neural whatever
Neuralink or whatever.
Yeah, Neuralink that he's working on. So maybe you got something there, Cryptoface.
Shout out to Crypto King. He made a good point about Bitcoin and Blockstream ruining.
Right here. It's not a leading edge technology. It's a Netscape navigator of crypto. Straight trash thanks to Blockstream. Interesting. That's a
okay. So he's a hex guy. Sorry, he's dissing on Bitcoin. That's cool.
No, so I think at the end of the day, the question that was at hand, I want to kind of finish it off with this, can be really answered with patience. The word patience. We all four of us on the stream know that if we're willing to say, hey, is it a safe haven? And we're looking 9 years down the road from now, and we're starting with our capital right now. I think all of us would agree. Yeah. But in the short term, in the interim, is there going to be waves? Absolutely. Do I believe that we're going to have a better opportunity maybe than I think we're probably going to have about the third best opportunity other than taking out the super early adopters and taking out 2020 of March. I think this year, we are going to have one more opportunity. This is my personal belief for us to be able to scoop up some Bitcoin at some really low prices. But I think that it's going to be quick. And I think that people are going to do what they've always done. Oh, it's going to keep going lower. It's going to keep going lower. And I think that if you don't be careful, you're going to miss that opportunity. Face, I see you thinking hard over there. You don't think we're going to get a big opportunity this year?
Well, it's not that. I would hope so. I think it's kind of like people are just kind of bullish to no matter what. Like they think it's not going to go down. I think most of us that are here right now and watching have kind of been around at least since 2017. Mm-hmm. Most people, although there's a couple people that got in 2019 too, but dude, I have this kind of feeling like, I've been a bear on the markets too for a while, waiting for the stuff to hit the fan because it should. But I also have this feeling with this hyperinflation that actually the complete opposite might happen, where we'd think the house of cards would fall, but actually what would happen is a hyper jump in the markets and in assets and real estate and gold. We think it's high now, but like just instead of a hyper dump, a hyper pump.
Well, the problem with that, with hyperinflation, yes, asset classes, the price of that asset denominated in dollars would go up, right? In a normal environment, hyperinflation, I would agree with you. But you got the Federal Reserve, they're trying to fight and tamper down that inflation. And so how do they do that? They raise interest rates. Raising interest rates, it's a whole thing behind it. It's not just as simple as them going and clicking a lever, but they essentially increase the federal funds rate at the Fed window, and then that trickles down to your commercial banking system, and that's how we start to slow down the economy, and that's what they're going to do. So I would agree with you. In any normal circumstance, hyperinflation will cause Bitcoin to go to $1 million easily.
But then what's the
Federal Reserve doesn't want? The Federal Reserve doesn't want that because how much money they have denominated in dollars is for their debt. They can't have it go out of control, bro.
Yeah.
So they've got to slow down.
Out of control. It's already out of control. To be honest, I don't even think it's like aliens. Like we're just learning about these aliens and they're doing stuff that we thought was impossible with physics. And it's like we've cheated the system so much that the general physics are kind of out the windows. Is like where I'm thinking from. You know what I'm saying? But I hear you.
You know what? That actually brings us to the second question. I think this actually ties in perfectly. So the question is, will countries flee to Bitcoin in the next credit crisis? When we have the next crisis, maybe not even just a credit crisis. That was what Blood and I were talking about earlier today, but in a credit crisis, or let's even use another crisis.
Just a financial crisis.
Just a financial crisis as a whole. Our country's going to flee towards Bitcoin.
I know people are going to kill me. They're going to hate this. No,
right,
you know where they're going to flee to?
Oh God! Don't say
dollars.
Don't say dollars.
It is what it is.
Tell that to Russia, man.
Russia's fleeing to gold. But go ahead.
Okay, gold, but they can't flee to dollars because they've been sanctioned to hell. So if they weren't sanctioned, they would be going to dollars. They tried to pay their debt last month in dollars and they couldn't do it. But whatever. So yeah.
So who's going to be going to dollars? How come they ain't going to the Yao? What aren't they going to the Yao?
The Yao Ming?
Yuan?
The
Yao Ming? Nah, that's a garbage currency, man. But no, like, yeah, but no, unfortunately,
I've been telling. I wish 2 years ago I was like, man, I really should buy some yuan, some of that Chinese. I wish I did.
No, man, they're going Cryptokeeper, man. They're heading to the dollar, bro.
But let's use the example of Russia, right? That is a country in a financial crisis now. They're not going to be able to flee to the dollar, and along with any other countries, at some point,
come back up, dude. Russia's currency's back up to almost normal levels again, aren't they?
Well, you know why? Though,
China, I'm pretty sure.
You know
Russia
why?
Don't need the U.S. dollar. They got China and them Saudis. I'm pretty sure the rubles. Let me take a look here. While you.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They got to flee to something else that's not the dollar, right? Because every time a country does something that the United States doesn't like, automatically they're gonna be threatened with getting cut off from the U.S. dollar, from with sanctions, whatever it is. Bitcoin gives them that leeway, whereas if they don't have, let's say, the Chinese or the Saudis to back them up like Russians do, they're like, hey, I can just use Bitcoin and they can't stop me. They literally can't do anything to stop this transaction from going from point A to point B.
Hey,
and
man, I trade cryptos, I trade FX, been trading FX for 15 years. You look at the dollar index, the Dixie, it is at over 100 now, right? I think the ultimate high was like 120, 130. It's heading that way. Like, the dollar is getting stronger. Don't let these ignorant people tell you different.
So you're saying we're headed You're saying we're headed towards deflation and the dollar is getting stronger, like I've been telling Miguel for a while.
Okay. Oh man, it's so complicated. Keith.
So
like, we're gonna go inflation, then deflation.
Right.
I think.
Right.
So how are they going to print 40% of the supply in 15 months and then now go back into deflation? I want to understand.
Because everybody else is doing it too. I mean, we sure could use some of that USDC regulation stuff coming to help with the dollar too. But we're not the only ones pumping our currencies right now. Everyone else is pretty much doing it too. So we're kind of all in the same boat. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope these next 2 years something changes and we can get back on track, because we got big ass debt to pay, and to be honest, actually lowering the dollar value is really, China's been doing it against us all the time. We actually should dump the hell out of the U.S. dollar and try to pay a little bit back while it's low, and then once we pay a little back, then we can pump the price of the dollar. But that's probably not going to happen. So,
yeah, to your point, Crusader, about like us printing 40% of the supply in this short term. Like, yeah, I mean, we're seeing the repercussions of that right now with inflation. Everything's heading higher. You know what I mean? So that 4 trillion that was injected went directly to the people this time. We haven't seen that ever. I don't think. I can't recall. I don't think in the past it was 08. It was injected into the banking system. They didn't lend it to people. They just went out and bought assets and put them on their books, like stocks and bonds and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. My point that I've always made is it's these type of events are scars that are being put on the dollar that can't ever really fully heal. And like every currency in history has had the same problem. It's been manipulated to zero, and there's a point, there's a pivoting point that you can't turn back from that, right? It's like you've done so much damage, you're gonna keep writing the damage until it hits zero. And in the meantime, before it hits zero, you're trying to, jump onto a new bandwagon, a new currency, and the transfer of wealth happens there, and then boom, we have a new currency that gets in power. And I think that's that right now.
What currency do you think is going to be?
Well, I'm not saying that I know what currency it's going to be. I think it would be something in the crypto space, right? Bitcoin obviously is the most example thing of a neutral currency worldwide, but the transfer of wealth has to happen, because at some point they can't just keep inflating forever and ever and just pretend like nothing
Bitcoin will never be a reserve currency,
simply because it's decentralized, is what you're saying?
No, it's deflationary.
Okay. And so
why is that the problem?
No system, none of these corrupt,
they want to be able to pump their bags.
They got to be able to exactly. If you have a control, it's like going back to that's why we'll never have a gold standard, like 100% gold standard. It's the same concept. Like gold has some deflationary. We don't know what that number is, or how many ounces there are left out there, but we perceive it as deflationary, right? Same with Bitcoin. They would never do that. If anything, they'll just go to some like basket of like an IMF dollar, right? Keeper, like something like that, where it's a basket of shit coins.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to see where they actually head with that. Face, did you have something you wanted to pull up on you had a chart pulled up there?
Yeah, I actually have the ruble and the dollar here, and I just want to pull up because I said I want to make sure I back it up. Beautiful blood diamond, man. I love market.
Man, I was trading that.
We missed that.
So ruble dropped 50%, came back up 85%. So total, since all the drama was going on, it's only down 9%. So all these sanctions and BS apparently is hurting us a hell of a lot more than it's hurting them. So they don't.
Well, you know why though?
But with the people we have in power, we apparently need them.
Well, Putin was like, "Yo, you can't. You got to pay us in ruble if you want this oil." I think that was a major factor as well.
I didn't pay enough attention to speak intelligently on that. So I'm gonna stay out.
Yeah,
on
I mean
that
at the end of the day, they've got China, right? That's gonna back them up. They're not gonna just crash and burn and just. They are a huge world power. They're not just gonna disappear overnight because they got sanctioned and there's okay, no business with anybody. I guess I'm just gonna sit here and wither away.
Yeah.
So that was only a matter of time.
I want to pull real quick, just as a reminder, guys. We're seeing all the comments. We appreciate all the love in the comments. We do have super chats on too if you want to make sure that we see something. But I want to pull something that Sean, one of our big supporters here, Sean said. I like what he said here. He said, in my honest opinion, that's where all this CBDC BS is coming from. The government saying crypto's unsafe, and here's a safe, guaranteed alternative. The CBDC approved by the government. It is literally. I totally agree. It's like we're the government and we're here to help. Absolutely not. You are going to hand deliver us more problems than we've ever had in our life. That's what I believe. I believe they are handing us programmable money. Yep. They are going to say when we can spend money, where we can spend money, how we can appropriately spend money, at what rate can we spend that money. And at the point that comes to fruition, guys, we are in freaking trouble. I don't know how else everybody else on the panel feels about it, but it seems scary to me. The CBDC thing, I want no part of it.
Well, it's like that's already happening. Like they already know where we spend every single dollar. They know where we are all the time. But they already know everything. So it's kind of like it'll be no different than what it is now. As long as they can program have those private, that just means like the privacy tokens, the privacy layer 2 solution shit tokens are going to be the answer.
But what about they will literally be able to physically program this money, and that's the difference right now. Right now, if I want to go out and be an idiot with my money and spend something that I have no business buying, I still have the ability to do it. What is being introduced in some of these instances is, hey, when you get paid, via, through your paycheck with a CBDC, there's a certain percentage that has to go to this, and there's a certain percentage that has to go to this, and you have to spend it within this time frame to continue to stimulate the economy and make.
Where's all this stuff written? Is this in America? Is this in Europe, or what's going on with this?
Well, this is you could guess where this is coming from. This is coming from the social credit score and your buddy, the yuan, right?
I think.
When I changed my mind, I agree. I actually think it's a good idea then. Shit, they're much more safer over there. You trying to be a little girl in a little skirt coming out at midnight in Shanghai out here, let me know how you feel if you're out there. Which one you feel more safe?
I don't know about that, but back to what Cryptokeeper was saying about the whole dystopian future that we're headed. I think it's part of a cycle. So Joe Rogan has talked about this, right? Like good men make easy times make weak men then make hard times. I think we are in the cycle where the good times have passed. Those good times made weak people, right? And now these weak people are making hard times. So we're leading into a darker future where all this stuff can happen. But at some point, there will be a pivot where we're going to go to the next phase of the cycle, and the hard times are going to make strong people, and strong people are going to do something about what is happening. So how far deep is it going to happen in the cycle where, how deep are they going to be tracking us, and how long is that going to last? I don't know. But at some point, some people in the future will do something to turn the tables around and regain some level of freedom, right? Same thing has happened in every point of history. You get chokehold for so long. At some point, people fight back and change things, and I think that's just a matter of time with cryptocurrency.
Are you laughing at D's nuts?
Oh my god, bro! You got
CBDCs are going to be great for child support payments. Here we go.
Man, he ain't never lied. I feel sorry for you, baby daddies out there.
Well, hey, Miguel, I think that actually leads us straight into this next question. I think we've got two kind of deeper questions with Bitcoin that we want to roll into. So Miguel, you've got the next question. Hit it. What's this next question? You got to pull it up, or
I got to pull it up real quick. Give me a second. So next question is: could it be possible that Bitcoin is really just a prototype for central banks?
So
let's process that a little bit. Is everything we're talking
of course
about,
it's possible, right? Everything is possible, but how probable is it?
Well, how probable
is a prototype for central banks? What does that mean? What do you mean? Was it created? Were you saying it was a central bank that made it, or what?
Well, CIA did have some involvement in.
The
prototype did have some involvement in.
Did it get created as a roadmap, as a blueprint for what the future could hold? Getting people onto digital currencies, being trackable, being traced, no privacy. And then once people are on the bandwagon, now they're like, wait a minute, now we're going to put in the regulations that we want, get rid of all this other junk, and now we have full control of the space. Make it think that it's the people's thing, but it's reality, it's our thing.
No, they're not that. It reminds me of Coca-Cola back in the day when they changed their flavor, and sales went down. Everyone was all mad. And then when they changed their flavor back to Coca-Cola Classic, sales ended up blowing out the roof more than it was originally. And, people were asking them, like, did you do it on purpose? Did you change your flavor to a crappy flavor and then back because you knew the sales were going to be really good? And the dude's like, we're not that smart. We're not that stupid. So I'd probably say it's about the same thing. If anyone, it would be Craig Wright. If anyone's going to wreck everything, it's when Craig Wright comes out with the Genesis wallets and shits and sells all that Bitcoin out of nowhere. And all the banks and sailors and bailers and mailers are going to get wrecked. And then we'll see how much they believe in Bitcoin. Then
I feel sorry for Michael Saylor. He's going to get his nuts clipped. He ain't been in crypto long enough. He gonna get a rude awakening. Watch. But I think it's funny, man. That's a great question, and I think that it could have been a situation where the CIA and cypherpunks or whatever, they were working on this programmable peer-to-peer money, and someone just like leaked it and just said, I'm just gonna open it up to the world. I'm gonna open source it, essentially, right? and then it just kind of got out into the wild. So I don't think that they did it per se. Maybe it was by mistake. That's my take on it. It kind of leaked out by mistake.
That was all made on forums. Like the creation of Bitcoin is like hella public with the dudes on the internet communicating with each other. So it wasn't no bank that made Bitcoin, man.
No,
Like,
but CIA is on.
We're not saying the banks.
CIA is in those forums, bro. They're in 4chan. They're in. They are.
Are you Cryptoface? Are you saying that the false flag attacks have never happened before?
Sure, they have, but that one you're
same
talking
thing, right?
about
Staged events.
You're talking about
occur.
deep, and you're talking too deep, man.
No, it's not that deep, dude. You can
read the Silk Road guys and stuff like that. You're telling me some CIA planted a digital currency creation to try to predict the next 30 years of shit that happened? Come on.
I agree. I agree. It sounds wild, but check it out. So the way what I actually meant by that was, is Bitcoin now a prototype for these central banks? So let me go a step further with it. So these central banks start looking at Bitcoin and they say, wow, you know what? There's like some really good things that we could use from that. And they look at how Bitcoin is public, is verifiable, and what kind of control you can grasp from that, right? So us as older crypto heads, we look at it as this peer-to-peer, take the middleman out, all of these great things. I have some, self-custody. All of these things are great. But when the bank looks at it, they're going to look for, hey, what are the vulnerabilities to this as it relates to giving us the power back? And one of the biggest things that they have there is the lack of privacy. Like, they're able to see where, when everything is moving. And so I think more my question was, they see that, and now the banks are saying, okay, let's take all of this good things that Bitcoin is doing and let's tweak it just a little bit and turn this into our central bank digital currencies and move that, into the future moving forward where they can benefit from it.
Yeah, I see that for sure. And, ironically enough, though, Keeper, I think that the U.S. will be the last ones to really do a CBDC, to be honest with you.
Really? Why do you say that?
Because it actually is it's a threat to the banking system, the commercial banking system. So if you do a peer-to-peer, even if it's when I say peer-to-peer, I mean programmable, issued, basically it's just digital fiat money, right? If you do a fiat cash, you no longer need a Chase. You no longer need a Fifth Thirds or regional banks, national banks. You don't need them anymore. People will literally just go to like the post office to set up a bank. If they're older, right, they can set up a card
and have credit cards and do stuff. Like, you still need an oversight committee to vet and lend money and stuff. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
it can all be done programmably.
It's just one part of the banking system.
Why can't we just use smart contracts?
It can be all done with smart contracts.
Smart contracts. How are you gonna? So how are you gonna? How's a smart contract gonna know if you're a trustworthy person for a sizable loan?
It's not. It'll be collateralized.
Machine.
It'll be collateralized.
Letting a machine judge you on a loan. Isn't that the thing you guys have been fighting to go up against?
But
I mean, it's not too much different of a machine versus a person sitting across the desk from you, judging you.
So
I need a machine because they, how they do brothers, man. We can't get along for shit.
From a social score?
I think it need to be collateralized.
I need to be a machine.
You're allowed to be lent this much. Is how it's going to be.
We already have credit scores.
I know. I'm asking you, is a credit score, is there just going to be a flat piece of paper, no matter what type of whatever shit you have? It's just, you have a 700 credit score, you make this much, this is the amount you're going to get according to the machine.
Yeah, man, smart contracts, bro.
Yeah,
you won't need Chase, you won't need Bank of America. All of it can be programmably done on the blockchain. Loans and everything can be all done. So I think it's gonna really it's gonna affect the it's gonna lay off a lot of people, which is I guess I'm cool with that, but
that's the biggest threat that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies present. It's the programmable stuff, getting the middle people out of the way and just say, hey, we can just write code, make all this programmable, automate this process, and all of you guys that are sitting there pushing paper and pencil, see you later, right? And banks lose that power of controlling that aspect of money.
What I fear is that Keeper, the CBDCs are going to come in, and because most people are so ignorant, they're sheeple. They're just going to adopt it. They're going to do like an airdrop.
I agree.
Come to your local post office.
Yep.
We'll give you $100 in digital cash to set up a wallet. Boom. They're going to start using that, and it's going to delay. It's not going to stop, but it's going to delay the real adoption of our decentralized cryptocurrencies.
I definitely agree with that people will follow along with whatever is most convenient to them. It's just about convenience. But I think CBDCs are a big distraction. I think, and I've said it before, that all these CBDCs, whether the United States eventually adopts one or not, right? Everything's going digital one way or another. But the point that was made earlier about Bitcoin never being a world reserve currency, because it's deflationary, I think it actually can be, and I think that Bitcoin will actually be the forefront of cyber warfare in the future, because getting Bitcoin, right, even though it's deflationary, it's only going to gain more and more value. So you only need to own smaller and smaller amounts and still have more money. So
that's not good for an economy, because that slows the money velocity down. So I believe that
we're talking about 100 million Satoshis in one Bitcoin. And if you're owning multiple Bitcoins, and Bitcoin reaching millions and millions and millions of dollars, the velocity of money is gonna be possible.
No, it's going to slow down, is what I'm saying. I'm not going to want to spend my Bitcoin.
If it continues up into the right, you're saying.
But Bitcoin is not going to be the only currency, right? We're seeing that cryptocurrencies are being a broad thing. So it's not about
my point,
spending the Bitcoin.
Crusader. Yeah. To my point is, I believe Bitcoin will be a reserve currency for nations, but it won't be your actual currency.
It won't be your everyday
currency.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Yeah. We're definitely on the same page then on that. Yes, 100%. People are not going to be spending their Bitcoin.
DeFi is like, what I would love right now is a DeFi community bank account, because I've been in one before, a little DeFi project, and all it is when you deposit money, and we've all been in these like type of smart contracts. When you put your money in, it takes 2 or 3%. It puts it into the kitty for everyone. When you take money out, it takes 2 or 3% and spreads it to everyone, where it just creates the movement. It's not about being in first or being in last, just about being in. And dude, the amount of motion and money that gets created as sort of like an interest, you could say, compared to a bank account, blows standard banking away, and it could totally be done totally legit. I've seen it happen. In fact, it was one little coin DeFi thing that was really doing it with, and we were a little small community, man. I was like, man, that's when I opened up to like the whole DeFi thing. I was like, man, this thing could actually work. Like, holy shit.
Can you only take out
and there's movement?
Can you only take out and put in? Can you only take out what you've put in, or are you saying like it's a full-on pool? I mean, there's some sort of limitation there, right?
It's just like if I deposit $100, $2 gets taken out and it's basically spread out to everyone that has money in.
Okay. And
then if I want to withdraw some of my $98 that's mine, it takes another little 2% and spreads out. So basically, it's just you pay a little bit when you go in, pay a little bit when you go out, and you just have everyone do it together. And as long as people are doing it and using it, then you're good. It's just that's it.
So you're saying that there are alternatives to the way that our banking system is done, which I totally agree with you. I think that
absolutely.
I think that our banking
There's only
system.
one way to do a banking system. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, and that was just that was one little thing. It was totally cool. It was totally cool. So yeah,
Yeah, I think DeFi has the ability to do, fantastic things as we move forward, but you already know what's going to corrupt it, greed, just like anything does, right? At some point along the line, and it already happens, but you do have somebody that either writes the smart contract, or somebody that's in charge of the platform that it sits on, or somebody that ultimately, had a say. Basically what they're going to do is they're going to say, what, where's my cut? Where's my cut? Where's my cut? And it's not about the people, right? It's about, hey, how much can I bring into my own pockets? And that's where I think DeFi gets off. Let's use Uniswap. Uniswap is truly decentralized. It really is, right? But let's put the big old but in there. It's owned by Unilabs, and Unilabs ultimately is taking, a lot off the top from all of these gas fees. And so there's always that piece of the puzzle. So I don't think we'll ever get to a point. This is just me personally. I don't think we'll ever get to a point where we'll live in a truly decentralized economy. There's going to be subsets of people that will be able to do it, that will be able to act in that manner. But I think they're going to be not the norm. It's going to be the norm to continue in the way that we know it to be right now, with maybe some little tweaks. I don't know. Just kind of.
I agree with that, for the simple fact that people give into convenience and to greed, like you mentioned. Greed is one thing that will never allow decentralization to happen, and convenience factor, make it stupid easy for me, and now I'm not going to use it, will not allow for full decentralization either.
Yeah. So let's finish it off with this, gents. I want to hear a Blood. Let's go right around the chain here. Blood, Crusader, Face, and then me. Let's hear a high price and a low price of Bitcoin this year.
Oh man, that's pointless, man.
Come with it.
All right, high price for the end of this year.
Just so, like, any point throughout the year, what's the high and the low of this year?
69,000.
Okay, was the high?
That's the high.
Okay,
the low.
But 69 happened in November of last year.
Oh, it did it. Well, we ain't going higher than 69 this year.
Okay. Okay.
The low, I just want to say 20,000, but I'm hearing so many people talking about 12,000, 7,000. I'm like, damn, like, where y'all getting these numbers? I think we're gonna test previous all-time highs. Where from there, I don't know.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where I have it.
Yeah, I think worst case will maybe jump back down into the low 30s, mid 20s. Right, worst case scenario for lows, and for highs, I think we are gonna break the previous all-time high of 69K. Are we gonna hit 100? I don't know, but I do think we would either test or possibly break it by a bit by the end of this year.
Face, I know you hate these questions, but I threw it in here just for you, bro.
I do too.
Man, my dog ripped ass. My gosh, dude. You and his team.
Good thing you got that mask on.
He was laying under me. He just ripped
good thing
ass,
you got your mask
and now he ran
on,
away. Man, I'm looking at Bitcoin right now, and the weekly still looks terrible, but something about the daily and the 2-day look kind of interesting, man. So, I don't know about 100K by the end of this year, unless a miracle happens. But I don't know, 64K, 64,000. And, I don't know, things might actually be going up a little bit here.
Do you think
kind of like what I'm seeing on these?
So you're saying that the lowest we're probably going is what we've gone so far, 30 something, and then
this
that's
could
pretty
be
much
the
the
low.
bottom.
We could be at the low now.
That would be
the
beautiful.
only way we get $100,000 Bitcoin if the
or
Feds
not,
come out.
or not. It's if this ain't the low, then we got a lot more pain to go, and it could go low.
All right,
what were you starting to say, Blood?
Face?
What were you starting to say, Blood? Though?
No, the only way we go to 100,000 if the Feds come out tomorrow or any time between now and the end of the year, and they say we quit, we can't raise interest rates anymore. The stock markets are, we're just causing too much pain in the economy. If they do that, then we're back off to the races.
So I'm going to be a little bit contrarian here. I think that when everybody is thinking we're going so freaking low, I do think that Bitcoin is truly manipulated a lot. And I
but
think
no
that
one says that when it's pumping, man. It's
Yeah, I
only
don't think
when it's
Bitcoin's
dumping.
I don't think Bitcoin's
I'm going to be the
manipulated.
contrarian. I'm going to be
I
the
don't think Bitcoin's
contrarian.
manipulated.
But when the prices are kicking ass, you know, you got to get out the way and keep your mouth shut. But it's all good. It's all good. You know, it's all
so
good.
I'm gonna go out on a limb. I do think that I told you this earlier. I do think that we're gonna get an opportunity, but I think it's going to be a fast opportunity. I think we're gonna get some sort of news catalyst at some point this year, or a culmination of events with the housing market, the stock market, maybe a war that either continues further or kicks off. I think that we're going to have a quick instance of a drop down into the high teens, low 20s, and then the high. Man, I asked this question. I didn't even have it.
Did you just say that Bitcoin's going to go into the high teens?
High teens, low 20s. I think it's going to be quick.
You're crazy, bro.
I think it's going to be quick.
Nah, he's not, man.
I think it's going to be quick.
Miguel,
I don't think it's going to be.
What did you think, Miguel? I didn't hear you if you answered. I'm sorry.
I said mid 20s. What would be the lowest?
Well, I mean, what's the difference?
What's
One
the
for all.
difference?
Breaking below.
Teens and mid 20s is too much of a difference.
No, 20s is fine, but going into the high teens, you're literally going to be breaking a pattern that Bitcoin has never done. It's never retested or broken below a previous cycle all-time high.
Well, sure it did. It just did it back in March of 2020.
No, it has not. The last all-time high was 20,019. Mm-hmm. It has never gone before that. If you look at all the all-time highs, 1,000, whatever they were, Bitcoin's never gone back and retested or broken below it.
My girlfriend said she never had a booty hole, and I put it in there last night. You know what I'm saying? The first time for every motherfucking thing.
Oh my God! Cryptoface.
Wow! That nobody saw that one coming. That was that was it right there. I'm gonna go with. I'm a little distracted now here, but I'm gonna go with 69K after that.
That was the top. That's where it did wick to.
69 was a very good year.
69 could be the bottom depending what position you're in.
That is very true as well.
This just took a right hand. This just took a right hand turn.
So,
ladies,
you were saying that you think Bitcoin is not manipulated. Expand on that.
It just this is what real markets look like, in my opinion. So, are there people that come in and either buy a lot and it sways the market? Yes, but I don't think it's not manipulated yet.
You don't think there's dinner parties happening in an atmosphere where I call them dinner parties all the time, but you don't think that there's meetings happening? Listen, we're in an atmosphere where literally insider trading as of right now does not exist, and you're telling me that there is not some huge heavy hands that get together and make decisions about where these markets are going.
Need it. You know what, bro? Look at commodities right now. I'm telling you, everyone should be hella bullish on natural gas, oil, beans, rice, all that shit, man. Like,
are you trading it?
Absolutely. I've been trading since November 5th, 2020. I went ham on oil, ham on war stocks, went a little on natural gas, all kinds of shit. And it's up the same amount as oil and Bitcoin are up the same exact amount, 180, 170%. And it ain't stopping. I told everyone last week to fucking go on natural gas because Europe we're fucking drilling more natural gas. That shit's been going straight up. So,
well, you know what? Go ahead, Blood. What?
There's collusion in all markets.
In all markets.
All markets. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Wall Street, man.
Wall Street. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just mincing words here. Collusion, manipulated. Is that the same thing? Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
crypto's hella small. It's 2 trillion,
it's
right?
Very small.
I was just earlier. I did an interview with a gentleman by the name of Zero Waiting. Totally cool dude. Check him out. Zero Waiting, and he brought up that BlackRock is worth $10 trillion.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin's worth $2 trillion. So
no, the whole crypto.
When you are talking institution, that's just that's just one dude. One entity. So. This shit could really totally take off to new all-time highs, but I think we just gonna have to wait a little bit, man. We're gonna have to wait a little bit.
Looks like we're changing your name, Face, to Commodity Face now that.
I was Oily Face, Commodity Face.
No, you know what? I like the fact that, so you got into war stocks. I do want to touch on this one more time real quick. Our little shameless plug here before the end. There's a lot going on in the world that ultimately things could go sideways. You joked around earlier about what, the grid going down and all of these different things that they're real life, right? And so ultimately, jump into our Discord, guys. This is what we're talking about with our NFT project. So we'd love for you guys to check it out. We're trying to get people prepared. I think that so many people live just a cushy life where, they think that they can have a metaverse character. And I got news for you. Your metaverse character is not going to save you when we do have a grid down situation. And that's what we're trying to fight against. So make sure you guys jump into the Discord. Face, Blood, you guys got anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, shout out to Tom Crown. I see him in the building. He said they won't make it 8. Federal Reserve won't make it 8 interest rate hikes. I agree. Yep. I agree. So at that point, that's when we take back off, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm all data dependent. I'm always data dependent. I can't give you dates because come on, that's just for headlines.
Yeah, like we talked about earlier, it's all about that patience, right? This is a waiting game, and are you willing to wait, and how much you're willing to put in between? Yeah.
So thanks for having me on. There's times when you can have an idea of things, times when you can't. So far, my track record's overall been pretty damn good. Man, I really called this shit in 2 years, April, May 2022, 45K. I said that shit so many times, so many different channels. So I'm proud of myself. I'm patting myself on the back. But right now, I don't know. We'll have to take a deeper look, man. It's tough right now because the truth is there's not much money going in there right now. It's shaky. It's anxious. There's indecision. That's why it's like really, really wicky right now. So yeah, patience, man. There's so many markets you can invest in trade in.
And you're not nervous right now?
Buy some chunky soup. If you think shit's hitting the fan, get some chunky soup stock. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit works. That shit went up. Toilet paper went up. So common sense, man. Common sense is what'll give you the dollars, man.
I like it.
Crypto Funny. That's your new name, man. This guy's hilarious.
Crypto fam, we love you guys. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Face, Blood, we appreciate you man. As always. Thank you guys for coming on. And just remember to question everything.
Trust nothing.
Until next time, hodl.
Holla.
Like it's hot. We'll see you soon.